compared. So anyways, welcome, good evening. Hi, Timmy.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, how are you doing?
I know, how was your week?
Fine, great. I saw your messages on Twitter. You just like hyping me.
I'm just being realistic,
No problem. Okay, so let's check what we have for this week. Hope everyone is good. I can see you, Popo. Thanks for joining in today. I know today was like your first, and I'm happy for your growth. Thank God.
Thank you.
Yeah. GJ, welcome. Did I pronounce that right? Welcome. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah. So today, before we actually get into our technicals and what we are looking at, so I created this list of where I would have this purple list of, this is where the pairs that I'm trading, that I'm personally trading, and this is what I actually trade. I only trade GJ and gold and then US30 now. So because I noticed like putting all that on my screen, like psychologically, I like, I train myself to just have like a few things in my watch list that I'm trading. And if I have every other thing here, I would be tempted to like go there, So I created this green list for what we'll be looking at. So this is where we have EU, GU, added GA to the list. Is it here? Okay, this is GA. Where is GU? Okay, GBP USD. Okay, I hope this is the one I marked up. Okay, and added CAD JPY, Euro JPY, 2, and then Nasdaq, and then BTC. I don't really trade BTC, but BTC has been hitting back to back. Even last week I didn't post the video, and even for the past 2 weeks now, I've not uploaded the videos that we did. The previous week I didn't record it, and then last week I was out of town. Then we did it on Monday, and I recorded it. It's still here, but I just didn't upload it. I'm now thinking, is it too late to upload or something like that? So, but this week will be uploaded by tomorrow. We should have that. So Monday morning it should be up. So I've created all that list so that we'll look at what we are doing. So last week, BTC played out from last week's analysis. I'll get into that. And yes, then I also, that's it. The red list is just if you want to add silver, US oil, and then CHF, JPY. I also added Euro GBP to the green list. So the green list is basically for the Saturday analysis and everything. Then I'll tell you guys also what I'm looking at for the rest. So I've not marked up fully most of them, but I'll get to it this week. So let's go to, let's first look at JPY. Let's talk about JPY. Japanese yen. So I remember 2 weeks ago when we did this, we were around this area. I think I had to delete a lot of things. We're around this area here, and I was watching for this to break out of the channel that it was forming. Break out of that channel that it was forming and then retest this. Okay, yeah, I think this is it. Retest this and go up. But JPY just like it slided down and kept going down. And reading the news about it, a lot of analysts were confused as to why it was happening that way. And I remember vividly in that video, I was like, oh, we might get to this purple line, but I don't think so, because like, you know, JPY is safe haven and all of that. So I do think like the market has reacted to the war, the way it will react, except we have like a, you know, massive unexpected thing, maybe a nuclear thing or something like that, right? So the rest is just playing out with the common fundamentals that is happening. So what happened was JPY actually cut their interest rates. And if you know JPY, the Japanese yen, their central bank usually, intervene in their currency a lot. So I was reading this article. Can you see it? Or do I have to reshare the screen? Japanese yen rebound. Can you see it?
Yeah. It's clear.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and you can see this article, they wrote that March has been miserable for the Japanese yen. I mean, the beginning of March was okay. I mean, ending of February and everything was okay. It spiked up and all that, GJ dropped. But, you know, it has been really bad for the yen. But is it really bad though? Because the governor of their central bank, that's the Bank of Japan, you know, it doesn't mind. He said here, if you read here, that there is no change now to my view on a week yen. On a week yen is generally positive for Japan's economy. So if you know what Japan does and the JPY currency and their fundamentals, you understand that they support their currency to be weak on purpose. It is actually on purpose. So having that understanding can help. And they do that because they are more of an export-oriented country rather. They are more of an export-oriented country. So if you are exporting, people will be changing money a lot into your currency, and you always want to make sure it's level so that it doesn't get too expensive for you know, investors to come and do it. So that's why. And then that made GBP JPY and Euro JPY everything. Can you hear me? I'm not sure what happened. Network.
Yes, we can.
I live in Nigeria, it's network. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen again. So where did I stop? Because I was talking and I just realized like I was in here again. Have I got into GJ?
No, you were still talking about JPY and the governor being okay with the exports and
yeah,
all of that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and basically they are okay with it because it helps their economy. So they are okay. So overall, actually, JPY is in a downtrend. So when I saw that, I drew out a very major Fibonacci. I use Fibs to like check, you know, how far it's going to go, or like just help project that. And I drew this on a monthly level. Did I draw it on monthly or weekly? Okay, let's just, it's almost the same. And then you can see that is almost at, okay, here, this is right. It's almost at the first take profit level. Almost at first take profit level of that Japanese yen. And if we can have it, can still go down to this second TP. So that's around 800. JPY is like overall a downtrend. You can see from the data that we have since, I don't know why they only gave us 2020 trading view. Or it's just this broker. Let me see. Oh, I think we have more data here. So I might have to switch here, basically. All right. So we are in, a downtrend with JPY. So basically a weak yen is good for the currency. And even this that I just drew, it's coming over here. I'll find out what this broker is all about. So and that affected GJ to like drop to go up, because I remember we were anticipating and watching, sorry about my all my drawings, we're watching for it to like come down at some point, and it did do a drop, but it wasn't really interesting, right? So it kept going up, and when I saw that, I traded with the trend, and then I set my fib levels and everything, and it hits the second take profit over here. So where we are currently with GJ, it's showing a reversal pattern, but it just broke this trend line here, right? Just this is the minor trend line. It's not like for the overall trend. So I would be watching it to finish this pullback that it's doing, and hopefully ultimately come back to retest this daily zone that it broke, because it actually broke, a resistance level for the daily zone, actually broke it. So, and after I break, you always want to wait for a retest, right? So wait for it to retest that level, which can take a while. So we might have a bit of consolidation in between all of these places. So, but for when the market opens for GJ, I'm watching for it to pull back a little. Yes, pull back a little bit, and then we'll see if it maintains this. If it stays here, this little zone over here, minor support and resistance zone, previous resistance to support. If it stays here, then we look to buy if it respects it. But if it breaks this zone, we know that we are taking it down to this next TP level. So that's for GJ, and then for the DXY, last week also, that's the dollar index. So what happened when when we had the announcement for the interest rates? Remember, we spoke about the interest rates, it's on YouTube. So what happened that day was this came back to retest this trend line that it already broke before the news came. So it retested this and then dropped all the way down that day. And what it's currently doing is a pullback from this entire drop that it's doing. And that was what I said last week. Like, I put this trend line here. If we have a break of this trend line, we'll wait for the retest, and then we take it up, which is what it has done. And it's currently at this, currently heading to this level of resistance over here. So we have to watch if this resistance actually, if you respect the resistance. If it does that, if it respects this resistance, that means it's going to like come back down. But if not, oops. And if it breaks it, if it doesn't do that, we wait for it to come to this next zone over here. All depending. So let me measure this. Let's see. Okay, so be watching for this level. which is also a supply zone, which is also the resistance for this. So, sorry. Yeah, which is also this level. So that's where I'm looking at the dollar index to go, and it's kind of in a giant consolidation. If you look at it, I don't want to squint my chart too much. In a giant consolidation, so we might be having this back and forth from here, down here, and you know, you'll be able to see it if you can trade the structure that is inside of the structure that is happening, just like what has happened here, right? This is an uptrend, but if it gets to this resistance, we'll wait for a breakout structure before actually taking it down back to this support level and all that. So after this consolidation, the market will decide if it wants to continue this bullish trend that it's making or wants to reverse. Does that make sense? For this. And you can also put your questions in the chat, or you can ask it. So just to conclude, so that we'll know what the other pairs are doing with the DXY. It's going to finish, it should finish up this move that is doing up. So it's bullish for now. So for it to finish up this move and come up to this area, right? But we are currently in this minor level of resistance, like it's not that deep. We'll have a break of this. We should wait for what the market does anyways, because we don't like to look too far into the market. You see what price is doing and then you react to it. You don't predict, in as much as you know because of your experience and everything, but you don't predict. You wait for what price brings. And what I'm looking at it to do right now is actually a little pullback, just a tiny pullback before continuing that move that it did, because of this, pause over here. So then we move to US 30 before I go over to our green list. So US 30, if you don't have a large account, don't trade US 30. It's very, very dangerous, but it's so sweet. So, take your time to master US 30, to practice US 30. Just take your time, right? Because it can, if you have less than $1,000 in your account, do not trade US 30, right? Especially if you use brokers that count it, because just one candlestick can be like 3,000 pips for US 30. So you need practice. But what I'm looking at for it overall, I only even trade it once a week or twice a week if I really see something good. So let me hide this. That's just me. I treat my chart like a journal most times. So what I'm looking for is for it to continue this downtrend, because, okay, let's take it back. So we are currently my analysis of this US 30 is, and in case you don't understand anything, you can ask me as I go along. That's why I'm having this code. So we had this beautiful push up. Actually, the day this was starting, I remember I was out to see some properties, and I just stopped at a pizza place to look at this, and I had this markup for this buy from here. So we had that buy. When the news came out for the interest rate, it dropped. But because we are in an overall push of recovery from this entire trend here, it's actually going up and it's bullish. right? So when we got to this resistance level for US 30, price rejected in that level. So currently where we are now is currently in a consolidation. So this is again just like the DXY. We are going to see if it breaks out of here to continue this, to reverse to a downtrend, or breaks up to come into an uptrend. But I'm looking at it to be like continue its uptrend. But for now, we are currently at resistance, and we can see an engulfing candle. We can see price respecting that area, and we'll wait for this to actually finish and push up. Everything that I just hit was my analysis on this, but I'll wait for this to actually push up to this level to finish what it's doing before actually coming back down, right? Because if I look at this on a really small time frame, it's a minor structure buy. Hold on, very. So this is also like DXY actually right now. So for it to finish this move that it is doing here, is that okay? It hits TP1. So if it's going to come here before we actually take a sell on this, right? Before we actually take a sell on this, because we are currently at a resistance level, and yeah. So I would wait for confirmation before I take this. Actually, that's why I set some of these things for alarms to actually notify me, because I am watching for it to do something like this. And I can't seem to find bars patterns these days for the past weeks. So that's what I'm watching for. And also for it to come back to this blue support level, because we are in a consolidation phase, right? And I hope I'm not confusing you guys right now, but we're in a consolidation phase. So for it to come back here, and if it breaks, so that blue one that I drew there, I put it on 1 hour. So if it breaks this blue one here, the sell, if it breaks it here, then we take it down to this purple one, right, to this purple zone over here, which is support. So when trading, we take the market step by step. What's on the toolbox?
The bars pattern.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay. Me just seeing it, like finding a bars pattern to go with my analysis.
Oh, okay.
I think I have bars pattern block. You know how people have writer's block?
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha. So I've been looking for, but I know like it will just come to me when like it's just like that sometimes. So that's it. And then for gold, precious gold. So gold, to me, was quite annoying for 2 weeks, but it actually played out. Like, you know, when you are waiting for something and you know that this is going to happen, but it now depends on when it's going to happen, right? In fact, that's what trading is about. You have to be willing to be patient for your setups to happen. So when gold did this, remember, where it was in a downtrend, like recovering from all the spike from the war and everything. So we had this impulse push over here and this downtrend. Last week, I actually, analyzed gold I saw like it was going to come up because we're around here also. We're around this area. And I said, watch for it to come down, come down to this area before actually taking it up, right? Although I joined in late at this 1938, but that was still like 100, and I took 150 pips. That was 190 pips trade on gold. So currently, I'm still watching for it to finish up his move and actually it just broke this area and retested it. So gold is a buy. But the only thing for a specific entry is, that's why I put these trend lines here, is now that it has broken this, I'll wait for it to come back to retest this, which is also this blue zone here, before actually taking this for a buy. But yeah, I'm bullish on gold right now to that next take profit here. I mean here first, because that's a weekly zone, so we might consolidate a bit there, and then you know, you can scale your entries, or however you trade, you can put it in. So don't just go in and buy immediately the market opens. Let's just see what it does on Monday, and then we'll take the trade. So let's head over to the green list. So for Euro USD, I think I was looking at this, and then sorry. So for Euro USD, right? Also, we had this this structure over here, and that's why I put this Fibonacci here. We had this move here from, let me take this here to here, and then I'm watching for it to do ABCD, but it hasn't, you know, done our D and gone to take profit. So as long as this doesn't pass, it doesn't come past this 100%. If it comes to this 100%, then that's fine. But if it doesn't like move past it, then we are still in the trend, and we are still in the trend for it to get to its next TP level, the second TP level. But for now, it's consolidating, and immediately the market opened, I'm watching for it, because this is 4 hours. Oh, okay, hold on, sorry. This is a 4-hour time frame. So I'm watching for this bearish structure to complete, and I also put this down here. So I'm watching for it to actually come down to this previous trend line here, for it to retest it. We can see, oh, my screen is not too, it has retested it, but like, you know, if you can see the structure break here, it hits TP1. So if it's going to respect this place as support and go up, or if it's going to break it and retest it, but it's a sell for now down to this place first. So that's like 30 pips scalp. Do you understand? Or if it's going to come here, or scenarios, if it's going to bounce here, and if this place respects, if it breaks that place, then we take it up. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so for Euro USD, first of all, when market opens, I'm watching for it to finish this move that it's doing, drop here. If it breaks through that area, then we continue the sell downwards. But if you respect it, and how do you know to respect it is if you see your candlestick patterns, like your, you know, true engulfing, your engulfing patterns, and see the strength of buyers, right? I see the strength of buyers in the market. You always want to make sure, like when you're trading and when you want to enter, no matter what, if you see an uptrend in on the time, on a higher time frame, you want to go down to your entry time frame. If your entry time frame is 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 15 minutes, or even 5 minutes, or even 3 minutes, like you want to make sure like price has confirmed that direction that you want to take it on the time frame that you are on. That's why I have a lot of wait for a retest, break or retest of it. Do you understand? Because when it breaks it, it shows like it's ready to go up, and when it retests, it's like testing that place, like it's no longer going in that previous trend that it was, right? So you always want to make sure that price is ready to go in your direction. That's how you don't lose. You wait for your setup to be complete, right? So next is GBP AUD. Last week I actually gave out this trade, but my bias was like, it didn't actually play out. What I gave out last week didn't play out. I said like we wait for it to push here and then go up. And I missed the fact that it was continuing its downtrend. So when we had this break over here, I already knew that, okay, this was never going to happen at that point in time. So that's why you actually don't jump on trades. You don't jump into your trades because you always want to wait for confirmation. This can happen. Imagine you are going to buy at this point in time and you didn't wait for a confirmation. It would have been like, there's no saving that account with what happened with this, because this is GA also is not a pair to like play with. This is 268 pips. Like how? So you want to always confirm. So what I have GA doing right now is actually completing and finishing up this move over here before we start to talk about a reversal, right? So I can see signs of divergence. Excuse me, divergence is when two things are doing the opposite, and it can actually let you know if a pair, or when a pair, it can alert you of when a pair wants to reverse, right? So we have that going down and this going up. But the thing with it is you don't know when your pair will finish diverging. So you wait for confirmation also for price to break and retest it. You always want to wait for that. So it could keep going down. It could actually do this all over again here, right? And touch it before you, wait for it to break out of this level. Wait for a retest to take it back, because it actually hasn't retested this zone, this support zone that it broke out of. So I'm watching for it to finish this move, and that is like 70 pips. It's great. So yeah, let's leave that there. But first of all, as you can see, it might first go up to this trend line. So you wait, is if it touches this trend line, respect it, that's when we are taking that trade down actually. So I would actually set an alert on this for when you want to so this is actually how I set my alerts. I label it for my own self, so that when I see it on my phone, I link this to the trading view on my phone. So when I see it, I know that this is what's happening, because I have a lot going on my phone. So Euro JPY also. I don't think Euro JPY likes me so much again. I'll try and be friends with it again. But same thing with GJ also, same thing. It actually gave me 50 pips one time, although I didn't trade it. But yeah, same thing with GJ. We were anticipating it to drop, actually, to do a very, very nice drop. It would have been nice if not for JPY that started sinking as if it's Titanic. So this actually went up, and we're in an uptrend, and it's actually touching highs that it hasn't touched in like years. So currently all these yellow lines are my weekly weekly levels. I just mark out support levels that I see or resistance levels that I see on the weekly. So currently we are also in this consolidation. So that's why I put this zone over here. So we're trading in between that until price tells us like a direction it wants to go. So, but you also want to watch out for fake outs as well. So let me drop this down to get what the next move is. Hold on. Yeah, we're coming back to support before actually going up. This is bullish. This is bullish. The overall trend is bullish, but wait for it to respect the support to actually buy to this next phase, right? So until we have a break of structure, we are not talking about this trend reversing itself. Until we have a break of structure. So I'll be trading this inside the consolidation, and in a consolidation you want to be very careful. So if you don't know how to go about it and all of that, just leave it alone and trade the one that you can see. And for Euro GBP, I was wondering why I had 3 euros. So for Euro GBP also, this is actually a little clearer. You know, this has been, if you look on a weekly, this has been in a descending channel, right? On a weekly, it's finishing up a move. So the thing now is when it's retraced, you only hit our 23.6 level. It didn't, you know, retrace. The retrace was not so strong. So we are going to keep watching till when this will finish up its descending channel, right? But I do have it for you. So you saw the, what's it called? If this network picks up. So I'm watching this for itself, for it to come back to retest that trend line over there. And then once it comes back, retest it. The retest might actually be up here. So you want to wait after that retest. You want to see an engulfing candle in your direction or something. So mind you, my retest over here before we go down. So for Euro GBP, overall, I'm watching for it to go down. So you should also set an alert on this if you're trading it. And then BTC, is this a lot of pairs? Should we just stick to like 4? Is it a lot of pairs? Or I've not covered your pairs. I'm trying to cover it as much as I can for anyone that wants to like take advantage. Oh, Diana said not a lot. Okay. All right. So I think we've gone over BTC. Have we gone over BTC? What I'm doing right now.
No.
Okay. All right. So for BTC has been good for the past at least 4 weeks that we've been looking at it. That's actually been playing out the way we see it. You know, with BTC, you want to be very patient with it because it has a lot of weeks. It spikes up and down a lot, and if it wants to move in a direction, it takes as many people out as possible. Like BTC wants you to be patient with it before it actually does its move, but it does respect all the levels. So the last time we had the class, we said that price should go down here And that was where I was looking at. And when we have a break of this, we wait for the retest to actually take it back up. And you can see that happened. So currently where BTC is at, we already passed all of this level. So now I actually was watching out for this to take this trade, but I missed it because I was on the road and everything. So I was going to take this up to 44K. And I mentioned it last week too, if I can get that video out, that we'll be waiting for 44K. And this is why I said that, because we're in this range. So it has actually hit my second take profit level, which signals a potential reversal. But before I enter in for any sell reversal, I would wait, because we are close to this 4-hour strong zone over here. Because why is it strong? Every time price came there, one, it dropped. When price touched it there again, it dropped. And you know, if it's touching here, yeah, watching for it to drop. But if it decides, if someone tweets or anything, because BTC is sensitive to news a lot, the entire crypto industry, right? If it decides to pass that area, then we wait for what it will do actually. But I'm watching BTC to actually be bullish. I'm bullish generally on BTC. So, but I want to see what it does in this area. It's still gonna spike up to this area over here. So whatever it does, if it breaks, you know, wait for the retest to take it and go to 52K actually. And I know crypto enthusiasts will be very happy with that. Yeah, so we'll see, and everybody will be shouting bullish, bullish. BTC is now to the moon. But what we are just doing is what BTC is just going to do is actually to test a previous level of supply. So you take it step by step. I'm not a long-term, I'm not a position trader. If you're a position trader, you set, you buy, you forget, leave it 5 years, leave it a whole year. I mean, if you had bought BTC like a whole year, you leave it alone and then let it do what it wants to do, no matter what. But I'm a day trader, so I'm very particular about the steps that it's taking. So currently watching for it to get to this green zone. If it breaks it, taking it up, if you respect it and respects it well, it shoots down back to the next green zone that we have here. Does that make sense for BTC? So right now, currently, bullish. Currently. So if you're going to take this at all, let me put this on the 4-hour trend line, because this is an uptrend, a strong uptrend. So if you're ever going to take this for a reversal, you wait for this to actually break. So, but for now, in fact, wait for a bounce on this to take a buy, right? If it comes down to that level, again, something like this. Like here, something like that. Not, we'll see. Yeah. So that's for BTC. You can also set an alarm, because when price opens now, it might just, you know, does what it wants to do. So you wait for Monday or something like that to have your confirmation if it's going to bounce. My best bet, like, it should bounce off this trend line to keep going up. Then if you have a break, you have a break. Nasdaq, NAS 100, the new kid on the block. I don't know why Nigerians like Nasdaq. and a lot of people. Oh, Diana asks, why do some traders say don't trade on Mondays? Yes, the reason they say that is also they feel like, I'm trying to think about they feel like the market has not yet settled. That's why they say don't trade on Mondays. Like, you don't trade on Mondays, don't trade on Fridays, because market is just opening. So a lot of manipulation will be happening on Monday and on Friday too. But gathering this. But the truth is, since I've started trading, even when I just started, Mondays have always been my best days. They've always been my best days. So when I was in the space where they told me not to trade on Mondays, so I'll let everything go. So on Wednesdays is actually very chaotic for me. And they say the best time to trade is Wednesday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. But I say the best time to trade is when your setup is right. I don't care if it's Saturday evening or if it's Friday midnight. When your setup is right, when it comes to you, when the market comes to you, that's when you execute what you want to trade. The best time to trade is whenever your setup is ready. People, they used to say too that don't trade during Christmas, it's very risky. And Christmas also was really awesome for me. I just tried it like for the first time in years to trade on the 24th, on the 23rd, 24th, and all of that. I didn't trade on the 25th, of course. But the next week, like the last week of the year, price was moving smoothly. Setups were like going back to back to back. Even the first week in the year was like amazing. So it's just to just be cautious. Those people that are saying it, they have companies, they have reputation. So if you are like telling people you just want to be careful with your money, right? So you avoid Mondays, but don't have it in your mentality that Monday is a forbidden day to trade or Friday is a forbidden day to trade. It's anytime your setup is ready. And for most part, Mondays have been like my best days. It's like a day that I like everything. I don't teach on Mondays. Mondays are usually very refreshing for me. It's like my second Sunday. So when I see my setups, I go for it, right? Mondays has been great. And Fridays too. Fridays for me, Friday mornings. If you're trading on Friday, preferably on Friday morning, because once it's afternoon is when markets like winding down or anything. So yeah. I'm not saying trade on Mondays and Fridays, though. I'm just saying anytime your setup is ready, can be ready anytime. Once you see your alert, you just know what you are doing. Just know what you're doing in this market. So I'm not done setting this up, but it's currently at a monthly level. And when we get to monthly levels, we are talking about consolidation. So we might be here for a while. For Nasdaq. And NAS2 is like US 30. It's not child's play. That's why, but a lot of people know that I can give them money, so they are still there. They won't let it go. So it's almost the same as US 30. I'll just wait for this to finish its pullback back to this area here before actually dropping. Oh, sorry. So let me put a zone here just to like streamline it. The reason why I put this here is because this was resistance and it tested back as support. And when price came back here, it respected it as support. So the next level you are looking at to sell to is this level of support here. So yeah. Waiting for that confirmation to sell Nasdaq when you have your confirmation. So, and the last but not the least, GBP USD. Did I mark this up? No, I didn't. I didn't mark it up. So But what happens with Euro USD basically kind of almost happens with GBP. But I don't like to go with that correlation. I like to treat each pair individually. So yeah, that's it for the pairs. And CAD JPY also, I was on it. Also, it has been doing well because of JPY, and yeah, you can see that long impulse. What do you think is going to happen? We're definitely going to have a retest. Just depends on when it's going to happen, right? So let's wait for this. It's actually touching. Okay, yeah. Wait for this to. This is a level of supply over here where we have a lot of sellers. So if it gets to that point of the weekly, what's it called, weekly level, that'll be a better place to take a sell from. But currently it's in a strong uptrend. And you see that strong uptrend. So yeah, for those that are wondering, my style of trading is definitely retail. I'm a retail trader. Yeah, I'm not, so I don't know institution that much. I don't work in the bank. I'm a retail trader. Whatever the price gives me is whatever I do. So that's how I do it. So this is not a complete analysis. I just did it. So do you guys have any questions before we close? Does anyone have any questions? Then the red list, I don't think I've done anything here yet, apart from what I've had before on US oil. So we'll see. All right, if you don't have any questions, we can call it a night. Then I also wanted to share something with you guys about Forex. Actually, that's why I have that what is Forex up there. I was going through, this is from the course that I'm doing. It's actually from course 101, Forex 101. So I wanted to share that, because I see a lot of, especially in Nigeria, a lot of people still don't know what Forex is. A lot of people still don't believe in it. A lot of people have been bitten by it, especially in the past 4 or 5 years when it really gained traction, right? And a lot of people will just settle for joining signal companies and all of that. While that is not wrong, joining signals is not wrong at all. I mean, it's better that you learn it on your own if you have time and if you desire to actually be free, right? And that's one of the reasons why I stopped signals for now. I don't know if I'll still do it, but it's because like I don't want people to be dependent on me, right? And I also don't want that pressure of, always, be thinking of other people's accounts and all of that. If you learn how to trade yourself, it will give you a sense of freedom. It's like you feel like you can do anything, like you're able to print your money, even if it's $50 you're printing by yourself. You're literally printing with your computer and your internet and your own knowledge, and you did that by yourself. You know the amount of discipline that it took, you know the practice that it took for you to get there. It's actually very, very liberating, very, very liberating. And especially as a woman, for me, very, very liberating, because I remember when I used to depend on people for money, a lot of men, I used to depend on my exes for money. And right now, looking back, thinking about it, for the few years that I've actually been trading, and I've not actually depended on any one of them for money, is very, 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 very liberating. I mean, I thank God every day for this gift. So a lot of people still need to know about trading, even if it's not Forex they are trading, if it's stocks or if it's crypto that they are trading, they need to know that there is something that they can do that can actually liberate them. It takes a lot of time. No, it takes a lot of effort, right? It takes a lot of hard work, and it actually shapes you to a better human being. That's why a lot of people fail, because they think it's a get rich quick scheme. They think like it's just, 1 + 1 = 2. It's really not. It's just like driving. When you're driving on the road, you just because you passed express and the road was smooth doesn't mean like when you enter into the street, especially in Nigeria, you keep going at that same pace. Is however the road is, that's how you are going to drive the car, right? And the market is always evolving and adapting. That's why a lot of people fail when they use this person's strategy, I'm using that strategy, is because like the market is not one way, is however it moves that you adapt to it. If you see anybody's course that is just like one way, this is the step on how to take it. When you're moving average cross this, blah 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 blah. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Like in this Forex industry, no, I have waka. I have used different methods. So for me to stick to the one that I'm using now, I have actually gone through a lot to be able to get to this. Like finally, like it's not like I have a strategy that is this, is that. It's just understanding the flow of the market and how it moves. If it does this is what you're looking at it to do. It's so a lot of people still need to understand that the Forex market can actually set them free. And I also have something, but this is for my students actually, that is going to happen in, is it May or June? And I'll keep you guys updated. It's for my students, and probably I'll pick a few people that have been consistent on these calls, and pick them to be able to get into it. So I'll create a group for my students, and then hopefully the least anybody would make, least one, I'm even very, very low balling, is like $5K. So it's trading on your MT4, like technical analysis, nothing like, but it's just like really sure. It's like a cheat code for a stock. So yeah, that's it. So I just hope like when you get a hang of this, when you're profitable with this, you let people know that this is real, this is working. Invite your trading friends, and hopefully I have the time to run sponsored ads and do so many things. It's really, I know what to do to get a lot of people to come here on Twitter or on Instagram or everything. It's just the mental stress and the energy of it, and like having to be responsible for a whole lot of people. But I know I'm supposed to have done it. In fact, I'm working on having a physical class this year, just to sensitize people about the markets and how it is. But when I'm really, really settled, I will do that in Nigeria. And hopefully we'll have a world tour one day. Anyways, have a good night and have a blessed trading week, a week full of pips. Thank you guys for joining. Have a good
Thank you.
bye.